Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dawn Hub. So in the couple of videos we've been learning web development. So we started off with HTML, which is one of the core technologies that will help us to build our website successfully. And so we learned a couple of syntax and tags, and I'd like to do a quick recap of what we did. So hit on the subscribe button if you've not, like the video, share, comment down below. Anything that bothers you, just comment it and I'll reply to you when I can.
Who them? One done. Yeah.
Alright, so now I'm here on my desktop, and then I would like to open our work in VS Code. So if you could remember, we started to use VS Code in the last video. And so in order to open your working environment, which is like your folder in VS Code, one simple way is just drag your folder right over VS Code, and then it opens it for you. And so this opens whatever I have in the folder. As you can see, we have an HTML file which has the code that we wrote in the previous video in it. And so I would like to do a quick recap of what we did, cover some tags that we learned to refresh your memory. And so we started off by typing doctype HTML, which we said that it tells the browser what type of document is coming through. So in this case it's HTML. And then we saw certain tags. So a tag like the HTML tag, it represents the root of the HTML document. And so this tag actually serves as a larger container for the other tags to be written right under it. And so this is the opening tag of HTML, this is the closing tag with a / and then the same name of the opening tag, as you can see here. And then inside it we had a head tag, which serves as kind of a settings for the document, where we can define certain titles, metadata, and whatever. And so we put in our title here. So in this case our title is learning HTML. So if I can open this code in a browser, if you could remember, when you right click and open with live server, we started using live server, and we said it's like it runs as a local server right on our machine, so that we can see our results right there and then. And so we right click on it and then we open with live server. So when you open with live server, it comes with your local host and 127.0.0.1 running on port 5500. So this is what we have written so far, as you can see. And so I'd like to go through the various tags. So then we close our head right with a / and the name of the tag, and then we open the body. The body also serves as a very big container, which is going to be displayed right here on the web page. So this part of the web page is where any code written in the body is going to be displayed. And so when you see over here, everything else that we've written is what is displaying right in the body over here. And then the title that we wrote here is what is displayed over here, as you can see, learning HTML. So what I would like to do to make things simple is I like to share the screen. So I'll shrink this one a little bit to the right side, and then open VS Code on the left, so that we can see what we are doing hand in hand. Okay, and so right, so I'll move on. Let me shrink this one to a little bit. So I'll move on with the tags. So we learned about the H1, which are the heading tags, and then they represent headings in every section. So it runs from H1 through to H6, and then we said that from H1 to H6 the size decreases. So H1 is larger than H2, larger than H3, which is larger than H4, and it goes on and on through to H6. And then in here we have getting started with HTML with a U tag in it. So the U tag here shows, it tells underline. Okay, so now we've underlined the text. So if you want to underline any kind of text, you just wrap it in a U tag with the opening and closing tag, and then it underlines the text for you. I think it looks kind of big and then cumbersome right on your face, so I want to then still make this big so that you can see what I'm talking about clearly. So here, so as I said, the we did the H1, we opened and we closed it. Whatever we typed in it goes into the web page, as you can see over here, right? And so over here we saw the BL tag. The BL tag serves as a line break, where we break a line in the web page. So if everything is running as a line just like that, the BL tag will break. If you put a BL tag right here, it will break whatever is here and send it to the next line. That is the purpose of the BL tag. So that we use that so that we can write hello world on a different line. So we saw H1 and we wrote a hello world, and then we saw this tag also called a strong. And then the strong elements represent strong importance, seriousness, or urgency for its content. So this content that I've written, strong, the general, it serves as some kind of urgency. Okay, so what we've written here tells the HTML that this text is kind of urgent, and that is why I wrap it inside a strong tag. And then we saw the BL tag over here to give us a line break, so that this element, which is the B element, will be displayed on another line. So it's also a B element. It stands for bold. Okay, whatever that is we typed inside here is going to be bold. So let's see right in our browser, this is for the strong and this is for the bold, as we can see right here. And so we use the BL tag again so that we can move to the next line. And then we saw the small tag. The small tag makes our text smaller than the others. So if I can open this and then I can zoom in, if only I can zoom in to see right here, we realize that the text JMails is actually smaller than we feast and any other text that has been displayed here, just because it is inside a small tag. Okay, so an opening and closing small tag, and then we break it out, and then we use the EM, which stands for emphasis, to show emphasis of its content. And then we typed in we feast, right? And then we break that line. And also we saw the I tag, which also stands for kind of italics, and then it makes our text italic. So let's see the difference. And then we saw we feast and harder. They look kind of the same, but they represent different things. And so we came to see the sub and sub tag. So this one actually stands for superscript, just like that. And you know what a superscript is already, where you can send a certain text or content right above the baseline, way above the baseline, for it to stay on top. So if I can save this, then alright, so the ND is inside the sub tag. Okay, and so it means it will be on top just like that. And so we see the ND is on top, so second to none, right? And then we also saw the subscript, right? So the subscript also brings the text right below the baseline. So when we look at this, you can see the 2 is below the baseline, unlike the other 2 texts. Okay, so we've been able to go through what we did in the previous video. So I would like to point out certain things, and I would like to show us and introduce us to new tags. Okay, so let me start with indentation. Okay, so for now, I don't know whether you have realized, but I'm literally indenting any other tag that comes inside a bigger tag. So as you can see here, this HTML, as I stated earlier, is the bigger container. Okay, and then everything we need to write must go into the HTML. So as you can see, there's some kind of space here, you see, and that is what we call indenting our code. So we indent it just to show that it is inside and below the HTML, the tag HTML. So the head is inside, or if I can mention this keyword, it is a child. Okay, it's a child of the parent tag, which is HTML. So in this case, HTML becomes the parent tag, and then head becomes the child, or the child tag, if you can see.